Good day. In this video, we are going to discuss number sequences. At the end of this video, you should be able to define a sequence, differentiate between finite and infinite sequences, use mathematical terms and equations to describe sequences, and find a particular term in a given sequence. Suppose you went to a cinema. What you have noticed with the seats? How many are there in the first row? In the second row? Can we see a pattern? Okay, so this is a typical seating arrangement for a cinema. It forms an ordered set of numbers. Okay, so the number in the first row increases habang lumalayo tayo sa ating cinema screen. Okay, so without counting the seats, the question now is, can we predict how many seats are there in this row, for example? So we can answer that using our knowledge on sequences. So a sequence is an ordered set of numbers, and the numbers in the sequence are called terms. Suppose we have this number sequence 3, 5, 7, 9, and so on. So this means that the first term is 3, the second term is 5, the third term is 7, the fourth term is 9, and so on and so forth. So these 3 dots that you see here means that the sequence goes on forever. So that is called an infinite sequence. And again, these numbers here are called terms, or in some books they are referred also to as elements or members. So what is the difference between infinite and finite sequences? So when the sequence goes on forever, it is an infinite sequence. Otherwise, it is a finite sequence. So we have here 4 different sequences, and we are going to classify them based on finite or infinite sequence. So for the first item, 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. So ibig sabihin nito, this is the sequence of natural or counting numbers. And we know that natural or counting numbers go on forever. Therefore, this one is an infinite sequence. Okay? For the second item, 1, 3, 5, and 7. So this is an example of a finite sequence because we can count the number of terms. So for this case, we have 1, 2, 3, and 4. There are only 4 terms in this sequence. For number 3, we have A, B, C, D, E, and this is also finite. There are 5 terms in this sequence. And for number 4, the same this is also finite. Okay? So again, if meron tayong 3 dots, ibig sabihin our sequence is infinite. So how do we write a sequence? In general, the notation to represent the infinite sequence is given as follows. Okay? So we have here multiple terms, and this one is read as A sub 1. Okay? And A sub 1 represents the first term in the sequence. A sub 2 is the second term, A sub 3 is the third term, and so on and so forth. So if we want to get the nth term of a sequence, we will denote that as A sub n. Okay? So if we want to get the 50th term, for example, then that is the a sub 50. Okay? So examples of sequences. So given this sequence, 3, 1, 4, 1, 5, 9, 2, 9, 5, then we can say that a sub 1, or the first term, is 3, a sub 2 is equal to 1, that's the second term, a sub 3 is equal to 4, etc., etc. Okay? Another one, the terms in the sequence with a sub n representing as 2n plus 3 for n is greater than or equal to 1 are as follows. So 5, 7, 9, 11, and 13. Okay? So what is this a sub n equals to n plus 3? Okay? So this expression is what we call the general term of the sequence. So this is the rule, or this is the equation that we are going to use when we want to solve for the nth term of the sequence. So for example, we know that the fourth term, a sub 4, is equal to 11. Okay? So using this general rule or general term, so we can compute a sub 4 as 11. Okay? So we just substitute n is equal to 4. Therefore, a sub 4 is equal to 2 times 4 plus 3. So this is 8 plus 3 equals 11. Okay? So using that concept of general term, so let's find the first 4 terms in each sequence. So item A, our general term is n times n plus 1 all over 2. So if we want to get the first term, okay, so a sub 1 is equal to 1 times 1 plus 1 all over 2. This is equal to 1. Okay? If you want a sub 2, this is 2 times 2 plus 1 all over 2. This is equal to 3. If you want a sub 3, so again, just substitute n equals 3. So 3 times 3 plus 1 all over 2. This is equal to 6. And a sub 4 is equal to 4 times 4 plus 1 all over 2. This is equal to 10. Okay? So examples of sequence. For mathematics 3, we are just going to focus on these 4 types of sequences. So you have the arithmetic sequence, the geometric sequence, harmonic sequence, and the Fibonacci sequence. So for arithmetic sequence, the difference between one term and the next term is a constant. So for example, I have this arithmetic sequence right here. So the first term is 1, the second term is 4, the third term is 7, and so on. So what this means is that if you subtract the term and its preceding term, so that's 4 minus 1, that is equal to 3. Okay? So if I want to subtract 7, so 7 minus 4, that is also equal to 3. So 10 minus 7, that is also equal to 3. So therefore, the difference between two consecutive terms is constant. Therefore, that constant here is 3. Okay? So just like any other sequences, we can also write a general term for an arithmetic sequence. And for this particular sequence, our general term or general rule is this one. To get a sub n, you just need to multiply n by 3 and then subtract it from 2. So if we have a general arithmetic sequence that looks like this, okay, wherein the first term is A, and in order to get the succeeding terms, you just constantly add D, okay? So the general rule for this one is A sub n is equal to the first term A plus the D, okay, which is called later on as the common difference, times the quantity n minus 1, okay? For a geometric sequence, each term is found by multiplying the previous term by a constant, okay? So for example, we have this geometric sequence 2, 4, 8, 16, 32. So to get the next term of this sequence, you just need to multiply the previous term by a constant. So the constant here is times 2, okay? So to get 4, that is 2 times 2. To get 8, that is 4 times 2, okay? So again, we can represent that in a general rule. So A sub n is equal to 2 raised to n, okay? So in general, if you have a geometric sequence like this, then this will be our general rule. So again, we will have a separate discussion for the different types of sequence. So this is just an introduction video. Next is we have what we call the triangular numbers. So the triangular numbers are this one: 1, 3, 6, 10, 15, 21, and so on. So it is simply the numbers of dots in each triangular pattern as shown in your screen. So to get the first triangular number, that is just 1 dot. So to get the second triangular number, which is 3, then we just count the number of dots in this triangular pattern, okay, and so on to get the triangular numbers. So if we want to get the next triangular number next to 15, then we can form a triangular pattern by adding another row of dots and counting all the number of dots we can find, okay? So for example, if we add another row here, okay, so now our next triangular number is 15 plus 6, or that is equal to 21, okay? So question: how many dots are there in the 60th triangular pattern? So it is not good if we draw continuously this triangular pattern. So it's better for us to use a rule for us to get the number of dots in the 60th triangle. So paano natin kukunin yun without drawing many triangular patterns? So we can make a rule, so we can calculate any triangular number we want. So first, let's try to rearrange the dots like this, okay? So same number of dots as before, we just rearrange the triangular pattern, okay? Then let's try to double the number of dots for us to form a rectangle. So note, we can form a rectangle if we have 2 right triangles, okay? So the yellow dots here are just the double of the former triangular pattern, okay? So for example, for the second triangular pattern, kanina meron siyang 3 dots, okay? So we add another 3 to form this rectangular pattern, okay? So Another one, we have here the third triangular pattern. So the these green dots, this is our original triangular pattern. Then we double that in order to form this rectangular pattern. Okay? And notice that for a rectangle, in order to count the number of dots, we just need to get the area. Okay, so the area is length times width, and as you notice, the width of this rectangle is represented by n, and for the length, that is n plus 1. Okay, so to count the number of dots in the rectangle, that is just n times n plus 1. However, if we try to go back, we only want the triangular portion. Therefore, we divide this by 2 to get the number of dots in this triangle. Okay, so that is n times n plus 1 all over 2. So now we have a rule. So to get the number of dots in the nth triangle, we just need to use this rule. Okay, so how many dots are there in the 60th triangle? So that is x sub 60, and that is 60 times 60 plus 1 divided by 2. So 60 divided by 2 is 30. 60 plus 1 is 61. Okay, so 30 times 61 is equal to 1,830. So there are 1,830 dots in the 60th triangle. Other types of sequences are the following. If we have square numbers, then those are just the perfect squares. So 1, 4, 9, 16, 25, 36, and so on and so forth. So the general rule is this one. So just get the square of n. So cube numbers naman. So 1, 8, 27, 64. So these are obtained by cubing the numbers, the counting numbers. So 1 cube, 2 cube, 3 cube, 4 cube, 5 cube, and so on. Okay? And for the Fibonacci sequence, to obtain the next term of the sequence, you just need to add the two preceding terms. Okay? So the first two terms of the Fibonacci sequence are 0 and 1. So to get the third term, you just need to add the previous two terms. So 0 plus 1 is equal to 1. So to get 2, that is just 1 plus 1. To get 3, 1 plus 2. To get 5, 2 plus 3, and so on. So this time, let's focus ourselves into a recursively defined sequence. A sequence is said to be defined recursively if each term of the sequence is defined in terms of its predecessors. Okay? So for example, I know that my first term is equal to 2, and I have here a recursive rule which states that a sub n plus 1 is equal to 3 times a sub n minus 2. Ibig sabihin, to get the next term, we just need to multiply the preceding term by 3 and then subtract 2 from it. Okay? So if we apply this general term of this recursive sequence, then we can obtain its first four terms as follows. So a sub 1, we know that is just equal to 2. Okay? To get a sub 2 or the second term, that is just 3 times a sub 1, the preceding term, minus 2. But since we know a sub 1 to be equal to 2, we can substitute this. So that is 3 times 2 minus 2, which is equal to 4. Okay? Next, to get the third term, a sub 3, that is just equal to 3 times the preceding term, a sub 2, minus 2. So since we know a sub 2 to be equal to 4, this is just 3 times 4 minus 2 or equal to 10. Okay? So the general rule is, again, to get the value of the next term, you must use the value of the preceding term. So that is a recursive sequence. So, example, make a table showing the first 5 terms of this recursive sequence. So, always given sa atin yung first term. A sub 1 is equal to negative 1. And this is the general rule or term for this recursive sequence. Okay, so ibig sabihin nito, if we want to make a table, so a sub 1 is equal to negative 1. A sub 2 is equal to a sub 1 squared minus 4. So this is negative 1 squared minus 4. This is equal to negative 3. Okay? A sub 3 is a sub 2 squared minus 4. This is negative 3 squared minus 4. This is 5. A sub 4 is a sub 3 squared minus 4. 5 squared minus 4 is equal to 21. And a sub 5 is a sub 4 squared minus 4. This is 21 squared minus 4. And using our calculator, 21 squared is 441 minus 4. That is 437. So the first 5 terms of this recursive sequence are negative 1, negative 3, 5, 21, and 437. So here are some exercises that you could practice on to master this topic.